Hi community, today we're talking about our ideal lives. I talk a lot about our ideal life, what your ideal life looks like, what my ideal life looks like, what our neighbor's ideal life looks like. Everybody's looks different, but I focus on our ideal life and financial freedom, because if you're not living your ideal life, it's subpar, right? So you've got your ideal, this is what you want, this is your life, and then you've got everything else that's below that. Why would you not want to live your ideal life if you can? Most of us don't realize that we can achieve our ideal life. So here's what that looks like. Do you remember, most of us might be older in life rather than younger, and whatever older means to you. But let's just pretend we're all adults here, we're all in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s plus. Remember what it was like when you were a teenager? Remember what it was like when you were a kid, when you were in high school or maybe early college? You thought, I can take on the world, right? I have all these dreams and I have all these desires and I have all these interests and everything in front of me. The world is in front of you. And then what happens? You graduate from college, if you went to college, and you looked for your job, your career, and you got a couple jobs probably like me, and then you kind of figured out what you wanted to do. Maybe you get married somewhere around in there. Maybe you got a house, you get the cars, you have your job, you have kids. You start falling into a rut. Not that having a house and cars and marriage and kids and all that stuff is a rut. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about mentally. We fall into this rut. We forgot all of our dreams, all of the aspirations, all of that stuff that was in us. We forgot. And so we go back. I walk people through this all the time. Go back and remember what it's like to dream. We forgot how to dream. So let's go back and dream about what we want our life to look like. So what does that life look like for you? Think about that for a second. And so I use this analogy all the time with every single one of my clients. What do you want your life to look like? If you had a blank canvas, how would you paint your life? What does that look like to you? And then we have to create the path to get to that life. And budgeting and finance and career and all that stuff is just the path, or how we create the path to get to that ideal life. So that's what we look at. So we have to ask ourselves a couple of questions. And the first always starts out with, what do you want your life to look like? What does your life look like when you picture your ideal life? And without the sheath of, well, that's not achievable or attainable. I can't ever do that. That's going to take too much money. I don't have the skill set for that. I've got to work my job. I've got all these bills. Yes, that's true, but let's put that aside for a second and say, what do you want your life to look like if you could dream again? Not maybe like I want $10 billion and I want to own, 15 mansions and I want to travel the world. Like, realistically, what do you want your life to look like? Dream again. Then, what do I need to do? What are those steps that need to happen in order to start creating the path to get to that ideal life? We only get one life here. So what do you want that life to look like? You have the choice to do it. I have the choice to do it. And then what do we want to create? What is that path that we're creating? Are we just going to stay right where we are? Or are we going to actually progress toward that ideal life? But if we never dream, if we never go back to the place that we know, that is what I want my life to look like, we'll never get on the right path, no matter how much you try. You're just going to stay on the path you're on. And maybe you are on the path to your ideal life, but maybe you're not. Most people aren't. So think about that. And then ask these questions. What am I willing to give up to get that life? Or what am I not willing to give up? People don't ask this question. A lot of times we'll ask this question of, what am I willing to give up? I'm willing to give up a little bit of sleep. I'm willing to give up a little bit of money. I'm willing to give up a little bit of, blood, sweat, and tears to get to that life. But we don't ask that second question, which is, what am I not willing to give up? What are the things that your life is saying, these are my values, I will not give this up to have that life? Some people are. I'm not going to give up a safe, comfortable lifestyle. I might not want to give up my house. I don't want to give up my car. I don't want to give up my family. I don't want to give up money. Whatever that looks like. You have to answer that. Then you go through that. Okay, All right, what do I want my life to look like? What am I willing to give up? What am I not willing to give up? And then we've got to take action, right? We can't just say, oh, that's it, hi over there, ideal life, and we're going to wave at it as we pass by. No, we have to actually take action and say, right, what are these steps? What is step number one? I need to start learning something. I need to look at it differently. Right? That's where most of us start. Hold on a second. I thought I was stuck here. I didn't think that was possible. What do I need to do to know that that's possible? And then we start opening, I could do this and I could do that. And well, I'm not going to give that one up, so I'm going to do this. Right? There's all these different ways to get toward, or at least craft and create the path to your ideal life. So that's what I'm going to encourage you to do today, is start those dream exercises, and then we got to take action, right? After we create that plan, and then we start working our way toward that plan. If you need help with that, please let me know. That's exactly what I do. But ask these questions. What do you want your life to look like? What are you willing to give up? What are you not willing to give up? And then you take that action. Boom. Here's what I need to do. Okay? So with that being said, thanks so much. We'll see you next time.